Yay!
Here we are.
Here we are.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
So Marion and I have made an observation. Over the years, the length of our hair has kind of, like, look at, we almost have the same cut.
I know.
Except I've got bangs.
I know, I don't. But
We've got the layers
yes,
in it. And when we look at the pictures, Marion's is short, mine's kind of short,
and then it gets longer. Look, and it's like touching over our
This
shoulders.
is long for me.
Yeah, this is really long for me too.
I think I have, but I think I've got like 2 weeks for my hair appointment.
Yes.
It's out there, but it's not. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's funny.
That's funny. Yes.
But it goes with what the style is too. I think as well.
I guess so.
But one of my sons,
yeah,
my Luke says, "Mom, don't get your hair cut all short like them old ladies just because you get old."
Okay. Yeah. So don't.
So I'm not sure if I'm getting old or if I am old, but yeah, that was his request.
Okay, well, it stays long, so let's stay long. I don't know how long I can take it.
If you're on Marion's page, we are also live over on Shine. We're going to try playing the Facebook algorithm.
There is people watching
and see
already.
how it goes.
Oops.
If you're over there and you can see us and hear us, give us a shout out. Give yourself a shout out.
Yes.
Where are you?
Yes.
Are you in Texas?
Or
where we're having our fake spring, they're telling me. I don't care if it's fake or not.
It's beautiful weather outside.
I will take it all the way because it's been gorgeous. I was outside with Cooper yesterday and I was sweating. It was 75. I think it was warmer than 75. I think it was more like 78.
Yeah, in the sun without the wind. It's beautiful.
It was awesome.
It's beautiful. It's wonderful.
So welcome.
Welcome to Shine with Marion and Angie, where we teach moms how to overcome the guilt of self-care in a way that is... Oh, shout out from the office. So I can see it. Where we can... Hold on, where was I?
In a way that's honoring to God and themselves so that they can give from a place of abundance.
Exactly. Because our inspirational verse is, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And in order to love someone else, you need to know how love feels and how does it feel with yourself.
Yep.
So
you gotta love yourself first before you can love anybody else.
Exactly. And learn how to be the best you.
That's right.
And me.
That's where we're at. We're all works in progress.
Exactly.
And we can always do better than whatever our better was.
Exactly. Because, and we all know, self-care is more than just a bubble bath.
I know, but that sounds... Oh, we got in the hot tub last night.
That's
so
nice. That's nice.
It was. And there was like no clouds and no moon.
It was a beautiful...
So we could see lots of stars last night. And John and I were out there and we were sitting there for a long time because... We're in the line for the planes when they come into Killeen. They fly over. And we're sitting there. We're like, no planes, no helicopters. It was kind of a little eerie.
Okay.
Like nothing had flown over. And quite often we're out there and we get all of it. Planes and helicopters, the whole 9 yards. Weird. But eventually a plane did fly into Killeen. But it was kind of weird to just be sitting out there in the quiet. It's not different. It's not like that all the time anymore.
No, it's not.
So we have the marvelous, magnificent Miss Marion.
Yes.
Awesome single mom to 2 young men. She's got a cool announcement for one of them.
Yes.
And she wears quite a few hats.
Yeah.
Different times of the day.
Yeah, not as many.
Not as many as she used to. Yeah. No. She's
calm down.
She's in that season where she's kind of figuring it all out.
Yes.
So she has learned over the years how to rely on God as she has raised these men and been a single mom and navigated through all the, the twists and turns and ups and downs. Oh, it's ups and downs. It's
life's roller coasters.
Life's roller coasters. That's right.
Yes. And here we have Angie. Alongside her husband, who is sitting in the office of more than 30 years. They have risk rise together, led 3 boys and homeschooled 3 boys into adulthood. They're all grown, they're all gone. And recently, Angie decided to become a doula.
Yes.
To work on that while she's experiencing empty nesting and being a chichi.
Yeah, I'm having to fill my time.
Yes.
I'm finding I had too much empty time and what is that? Idle hands make...
Wrong choices.
Oh, I don't remember how that goes. There's an old saying, idle hands make... I don't know. Maybe John knows what it is. Maybe somebody out there remembers what that saying is. But when you have too much free time on your hands, you get in trouble.
Yes.
You know, when our kids were little and they were bored,
yes,
they would often find trouble. And yeah, my go-to was always to assign chores. But
yes. Yes, but there's only so many chores you can do in this house, right?
Oh, yeah.
You gotta find something else. So before we dive in, let's do the show. I was looking forward to this today. I was sitting at my desk and I was like, oh my gosh, we have to do this later. This feels so good.
It does. If you're not doing it with us, you're missing out. Roll them forward and up by your ears and drop it.
Oh my gosh, this feels so good.
And then make sure your tongue is not stuck to the roof of your mouth, because otherwise you're holding all that tension up in the top of your body.
Exactly. So
anyway, so we got a little chit chat.
You started a sourdough.
I am starting sourdough.
Okay.
Everybody's doing sourdough.
Yeah, I heard. I'm not.
Like, so I've done it in the past, and my little starter thing always gets away from me, and it gets too big, or I forget about it, and it dies. But evidently, it doesn't really die unless you throw it out in the yard or something.
Okay.
But anyway, so I got a starter from a lady in Bryan, and Trisha Pratt is doing a bunch of fermentation workshops out at the Ocala Library.
Yeah. And
the next one is sourdough, but I couldn't wait.
Yeah.
So I've got mine, and I posted pictures of it. I put it in my this really pretty jar that I remember my dad making. I don't even it was some sort of fermented fruit.
Okay.
And we would sit and watch it bubble, and my mom would get frustrated because the fruit flies were all around it.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if he put it on ice cream, because my mom and dad weren't drinkers.
Yeah.
I think he put it on ice cream or something weird.
Okay.
But anyway, the jar is gorgeous, and I love the jar, and it's sat on the top of my fridge, and I'm like, why not put it to use so that I can enjoy it even more?
Yeah, I want a loaf of bread when you
have one. If I can make it, the last time I did it, it was a brick.
Okay, well...
But there's a lot more information out there than when I was doing it the first time, so we'll see. But I also started kombucha. Do you like kombucha?
Yes.
And that's another one that can get really big.
Yes.
So I might be sharing some of that with you.
Okay.
I've also learned how to flavor it this time.
Okay.
So that it's not just straight up.
I know it doesn't
kombucha.
I know you need to.
I put some strawberries in it or blueberries in it.
Okay.
We'll see. I like kombucha.
Me too.
And I like the fizz in it because I don't drink sodas.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
Last time I did kombucha, I forgot about it and I made vinegar. So we'll have to see if I can set myself an alarm or reminder or something so that I don't forget it, because it's nasty when it gets too far gone.
Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see. We will keep you posted about it.
If I show up, because the kombucha should for sure be ready by the next time we meet.
In 2 weeks, yes.
Because it's a little cold in the house, so all these fermentation things aren't working as quickly.
Yes.
I just stuck my my sourdough starter in the oven and opened the oven, and just the light is on in there, because somebody said that might even be warm enough for it to do its thing.
Okay.
Because I fed it today.
Okay. And
it's supposed to be bubbling, and it's not.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see is right.
We'll see. And it will taste eventually.
And when you start watching all these different people that are making it and how they do it.
You have to make your own butter on that day too.
I'm not making my own butter.
You just have to shake it.
I don't have the right milk to make my own butter.
Well, you have to go get just heavy whipping cream.
Maybe.
And just shake it in a jar.
I have butter from Paris still.
Oh.
So there, I don't have to make butter.
No, we eat Paris butter, French butter.
It's much better.
French butter.
And I save it for when I just want to put it on bread.
Yes.
I don't cook on it. I don't put it in things. It's just for putting on bread and enjoying.
That's good.
So anyway, if y'all have started on the sourdough craze,
let us know.
Let me know. If you've got any tips, or if you made a mistake and you can save me from making that mistake, I would gladly learn from your mistakes. So put some tips and pointers out there for me.
That would be interesting.
So I can make good bread and share it.
All right.
Because I think this starter thing gets to be a life of its own.
I can't wait.
People name them. They have names. One lady's name, hers is Doanna.
Oh. Okay.
I can't. That's the one I.
Oh wow. Okay. I have not read into that.
Oh yeah, they give them names.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
that's good to know.
And they all talk about if their house was on fire, they would grab their sourdough starter and get the kids out and come back in and get their sourdough starter.
Okay.
The one lady has one. She says it's 150 years old. Like it originally was started 150 years ago, and it has just been kept going. And you take from it, and you add to it, you take from it, and add to it. But the original of that was 150 years ago. Her great grandmother or something like that. I didn't even know you could do that.
No, me neither. Well,
I've started. We'll see.
We'll see how this goes.
If 150 years from now somebody's going, my great grandmother Gigi started this. So I don't know. It's fun. Okay. What's the worst that can happen is I waste some flour.
Yes, exactly.
So
okay.
Marion's getting all these text messages.
I know.
I'm like, not be distracted.
I know. I'm trying not to.
So this week's I am forgiven. And we're not going to dig into this really deep because this is our topic.
Yes.
But it comes from Colossians 1:13 through 14.
For he has rescued us from the kingdom of darkness and transferred us into the kingdom of his dear Son, who purchased our freedom and forgave our sins. We must first believe in God and Christ. Then we can receive his forgiveness. If you have questions, please let us know.
If you've got questions about the trust and the forgiveness,
yes,
and you have not trusted and you have not received that gift of forgiveness,
yes,
reach out to us, message us, or reach out to somebody that you trust,
yes,
whoever it is that you can talk to about it. But don't wait.
Yes,
connect with them and get your answers to your questions that you have.
Because forgiveness is such a big thing and is so freeing.
It is.
And once you experience it, it's good.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not you're not gonna forget. However, it's easier. It's easy.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt as much.
This doesn't hurt as much. Exactly.
So our topic
is
this is kind of a tough one.
Yes.
It's tough for a lot of reasons, but it's forgiveness, not of others, but of ourselves.
No. Yes.
Because those are two very separate, different things.
Exactly. Forgiving somebody else
Sometimes that's easier.
Yes, I would have to say it's easier
than to forgive ourselves.
Because the other person don't even need to know that you're forgiving them.
Right.
You just make a clear conscience, especially take it to God and lay it on his feet.
Yeah, but we are always our own worst critics. And we're always harder on ourselves than we are on other people.
And we can forgive other people sinning against us or hurting us, but the same, we have a hard time doing it to ourselves.
Yeah.
So we want to focus on this today, on ourselves.
So my husband John always says it's important that we are both using the same words with a mutual agreement on what their definition is. So let's set that out there right now. So shame, what's that?
Shame is a deep-seated belief that you are irreversibly flawed because of your past failures, mistakes, abuses, or misuses.
And under shame, you only see your faults. Shame is not even the same as embarrassment. Embarrassment is what you feel in a moment, and it's temporary.
So say you forget your friend's name, or you spill a drink in, or worst one, you walk out of the bathroom with your skirt tucked still inside. That is embarrassment.
It is. That's embarrassing.
Yes.
Guilt is often confused with shame too.
Yes.
Guilt, as defined in Merriam-Webster, is a responsibility for having done something wrong, especially against the law. If you're found guilty in a court of law.
Yeah.
The difference is that guilt is a feeling.
Shame is a feeling that leads to a condition, a belief. So it's deep.
You kind of own it in a bad way.
Yes. So we feel guilty because of what we have done. Mm-hmm. We feel ashamed because of who we think we are.
Yeah. Guilt says, I made a mistake, while shame says, I am a mistake. Feeling guilty is healthy when we seek restitution and reconciliation from it.
Yes.
But when it leads to a confession, an apology, or asking for forgiveness, guilt is a healthy thing. But if we don't take our guilt to the person we've wronged and then to God and ask for forgiveness, it can turn into shame.
Yes. And we can carry this around with our thoughts, like if they only knew that I am such a horrible person, I don't deserve forgiveness, I am not good enough,
I'm a fool, or I deserve to be hated.
So pages of our story become unwanted and they taunt us. And, 2 weeks ago, we talked about our mind when it's talking to us. And this is that negative self-talk we have, that shame.
The lies get repeated.
And it thrives in us.
And they just spiral in our head, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger until we believe them to be true. That's shame.
Yes. We even find new situations that confirm our shame.
Yeah.
We find things, and it's sad.
It is. You keep affirming that feeling of I'm a horrible person, or I'm stupid, or I'm not good enough.
Yes, I'm a failure. A loser.
Yeah.
We talk about this in a minute. So we are both reading, through the Bible chronology, and I cannot ever say
chronologically.
I need to talk slower. Chronologically. So if you think your life is messy, it's a messy story. Oh my Lord. I mean,
there are some messy stories in the Bible.
Yeah.
Messy.
So there is nothing new under the sun.
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. The Bible, as I was listening this week, I'm like, oh my gosh, this sounds like the soap operas that I used to watch in high school.
Yes.
It's awful.
Yeah.
The manipulation and the lies and the sex being used to get what they want or to destroy people.
And yes,
it's a soap opera.
And it started all the way in the beginning with Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Ruining God's perfect creation.
Yeah.
They didn't even take the responsibility for their wrongs. Adam blamed Eve and Eve blamed the serpent.
Yep.
So there are so many examples of guilt and shame in the Old Testament alone. But let's look into the New Testament.
If you need an example in the New Testament, you don't have to go far. Just look at Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And when he tells Christ that he would lay his life down for him, and then just a few hours later, he publicly denies even knowing Christ.
3 times.
Yeah.
3 times.
I mean, a day hadn't even gone by.
Exactly. And he felt so guilty that he went outside and wept bitterly.
Yeah.
So, like we said, there is nothing what shocks God.
No.
He's seen it.
He's seen it all.
Yeah.
I'm just blown away in the Old Testament. Like, we're reading through Genesis and Exodus and whatnot.
Yeah, in Exodus. Right.
And the stealing of the blessings.
Yes.
The women sending the second-born or whatever son in to get the blessings.
Yes.
That happened like 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
Yes. The women saying that they'd had been raped and they'd had sex with just the women. Some of them were awful.
I know.
Awful. And then,
but, even Jesus' lineage comes from something awful like this.
Yeah.
So it is just...
Nothing surprises God. None of this is new. Anything that we've done...
It already happened.
Yeah.
And guess what? Every single time the person went to God and asked God for forgiveness. And you know what he did?
He forgave them.
Exactly. So God is so good. And Peter went on to become one of the fathers of the early church. We know all this.
Yeah.
So how can we turn around our guilt and even that shame?
We've got to start somewhere. You've got to start by asking forgiveness. And then here's the hard part. You've got to accept it.
That it's done.
It's done.
D-O-N-E.
It's done.
Done.
Forgotten. Cast away.
Yes.
There's a verse, how far it's cast away.
Yes. To the east and the west or something like that.
Let's take this even one step further. Because I know from experience that living out the forgiveness can be so much harder than simply asking for it.
Yes.
We can't rewrite the worst chapters of our lives. We've done it. It happened. It's there. And you can't change the past.
Mm-mm.
But we can, however, change how we move forward.
Yes. So, and God prepares us for extraordinary things.
He does.
He uses you and me, ordinary people, to do great things. I mean, how many ordinary people even he used in the Bible?
Yeah.
Ordinary people.
Yeah. And I think of the woman at the well.
Yes.
And
yes.
Just, And so we can take what we learn and we can pour our love and empathy into others' hearts and lives of others. We can take what we learned from that experience and help somebody else with the wisdom.
Yes, so they can walk the walk what has been already paved for them.
Yeah.
basically. You know, Brené Brown
Right.
says something really nice about this. But just a personal experience or example about it, whenever I got divorced, I felt I had the big L, the loser, the big D on my forehead that everybody knew that I was a failure. I could not...
Scarlet letter.
Yes, I could not make my marriage work. It didn't work. And I felt like a failure.
Yeah.
And it was so hard to overcome this, that why me? Why me? And then feeling the shame and then thinking about what it does for my children and so on and on and on. So this negative self-talk was just a big thing where I thought, why? And I felt like, why me? What have I done? And why? And how will I move on from this? I am scarred. I'm no good. I'm nothing now. And looking back now, and hindsight is so beautiful.
Isn't it is, isn't it?
Going through this was the best experience in my life. Now. At the worst time, at the worst thing, what worst could have happened to me, it was okay. It was good. Because I can see God's hand in it all. Mm-hmm. It had to happen. It was not without his plan. You know, God has a plan. He has a plan in all of those crazy soap opera stories in the Bible.
Yeah.
He has a plan.
Yeah.
You know, they are in slavery in Egypt right now. There is a plan for getting them out. Right. You know, and he hardens Pharaoh's heart. Why does he even have to harden his heart?
I know. I thought that today. When I listened today, I said the same thing.
Like,
why couldn't he have softened
his heart?
Pharaoh's heart. No. Why did he harden it?
So
he did.
So God has a plan in it. So he had a plan in my divorce that it had to happen. And now in the hindsight, I don't even can count how many women I was be able to help along the way with my story.
And it's prepared you.
Yes, for who I am now.
And the work that you're doing.
The work I'm doing. Not only the divorce care, the ministry I had a few years ago. No, the work now, where I am at.
Yeah.
Like
all these broken women,
I have more empathy.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can speak from experience.
Yeah.
And I could not connect with those people if this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Just last week, I was made aware of a friend who is going through divorce, and she's really, she's broken.
Yeah.
And she's lost, and she's scared. And I was able to connect her with Marian, and they were able to have a conversation, and my friend let me know that it was helpful.
Yeah.
And it was, like, literally that morning, she had just finished praying for help.
Yes.
And God put her name on my heart.
Yeah.
And I messaged her that I had... God had given me her name, and I had prayed for her that morning, and she's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And she told me what was going on, and I said, can I connect you with somebody that I think might be able to, help you? And she says, that's when she told me, I just finished praying for help.
Yeah.
So that's a little
thing.
Just little.
So when you feel that shame, that guilt, and that horrible story that you just experienced, or whatever is going on in your life, there's a plan in it all.
There is.
There is a plan.
And God explains it. His words are always better.
Yes.
Hebrews 12, 1-2. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down. That's that guilt and shame. Especially the sin that so easily trips us up. And let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. That's living out our greatness. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. Because of the joy of awaiting him, he endured the cross, disregarding its shame. Now he is seated in the place of honor beside God's throne. Hebrews 12:1. So what can you learn from the situation that brought you so much guilt and shame?
Yes. How can you use it to be the best you?
Because that's what we're here for.
And for us women, maybe don't ask for forgiveness or don't ask why for yourself. Do it for somebody else. And it's so much easier for us women to do it for somebody else.
Yep.
So just think about it. You're going through this because somebody along the way will benefit from your pain.
Experience.
Yes, from your pain, from your experience, from your sorrows.
Yeah, it's all part of God's plan. So
yes,
if you're carrying it, drop it.
Yes,
drop it.
Keep your eyes on Jesus, because there is a plan in it, and it will be better.
So
it will be.
Whew, we did it.
Oh my gosh, we did it. It was deep. Sorry, people.
That was a tough one to put together too.
Yes.
So
yes.
You can catch us over on YouTube. All of these videos are shared over there.
Yes.
And on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, hop over. Or if you don't have us on your Instagram, hop over and give us a like or a follow or whatever it is over there. And if you want to catch some of the older episodes of Shine, they're all over on Facebook. No, on YouTube.
And on Facebook.
They're on Facebook. They're easy to find on YouTube, though.
Yes.
And I haven't said anything to Marion about this, but somebody told me how easy it would be for us to take the audios of all those old episodes and make a podcast.
Oh, yeah. We need to. I know. How would that be?
We've got almost 3 years.
In May, it's going to be 3 years.
3 years worth of content that we could maybe do a podcast with. So pray with us on that, if that's something that God wants us to do or not.
Exactly, because we want to be here and reach as many women. So if you feel led, share this.
Yeah, when we finish with this live, wait a second, it'll pop up and hit share, so it'll show on your feed, and all of your friends will maybe become our friends.
Exactly. Yeah, these of us, where are we? Hold on, here we are. Sorry. Discombobulated.
I figured out how to make it have page numbers on it.
I just have to read. So, and always remember to the end now, if your glass is half full or half empty,
what are you going to do this week to fill it up?
Exactly.
What are you going to do for you this week to fill your cup so that you can give from a place of abundance and not a place of emptiness,
sorrow,
and exhaustion?
Exactly.
So our reverse. Remember our verse? Love yourself as you love your neighbor.
It's in Matthew, in Mark, in Leviticus, and in Romans, and so many others.
It's all through the Bible. I love that.
Exactly.
So we will see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. It's going to be Valentine's Day in 2 weeks.
It is going to be Valentine's Day in 2 weeks.
I
just got balloons going up on my screen. I don't know why.
Why were there balloons?
That's exciting. So anyway, cool. 2 weeks, it'll be Valentine's. We're still going to be here.
Yeah. So, yes, maybe watch us with your sweethearts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
That would be
a cool date. What our topic is like.
I don't either. I have to look, but it's on
Valentine's. It's on my calendar over there. So
yeah.
Anyway, we love you guys. Bye.
Bye.